Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be watching the full version of Andrew Tate BBC interview.
The full Andrew Tate BBC interview.
I don't know why I'm struggling. It's probably some
You
time.
just added words in.
I can't help it, it's my brain. Thank you for getting us to 2,000, we really do appreciate it. We are doing a giveaway, so make sure you click down below to join it. Obviously you've got to be in the UK, be active and be subscribed to us. And make sure you click the links in the description to join our Patreon or donate to us, as that would be very helpful. Also, I want to address an issue that keeps happening with our subscribers. Some of you are very rude towards us. At the end of the day...
No, let's rephrase that. You act very nice, but when you don't get it in your way, you switch up and say horrible things. You know who you are. There's multiple of you.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we are YouTubers.
No, we are human too. We have our own feelings. Yes, we're YouTubers. We don't need any kind of relationship with you, but we are human too. Now, don't forget that. How would you like it if one of us started going at you? You wouldn't. End of story. Have some respect.
I was trying to put it into words, but I didn't know how to.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's done.
So, yeah. We choose to respond to you, but please restrain yourselves.
We don't have to talk to you. We choose to talk to you. Stop taking it for granted before we shut our social media down. And that's that. We're sick of it. We don't need it. Now let's get on to the video.
And as you can tell, she's very passionate about it.
No, I'm not passionate. I'm hurt by some people. I'm hurt.
Sorry.
Because it's at me.
I'm not laughing at her, by the way, before you start.
They
it's
come at me.
How I deal with situations. And yeah, they do come for Olivia all the time. Like, Olivia don't do anything. And then when I'm sticking up for her, you will then start on me. How does that one work as well?
Literally just pack it in before we do shut our social medias down, and we will not look twice about it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The BBC has been begging.
Oh, I'll just read it. The BBC has been begging Andrew Tate for an interview for the last 6 months. Begging. They sent a list of sanitised questions and promised a fair and balanced interview. Tate finally agreed to their begging and ignored all. And of all they promised questions and attempted a hit job, this is what happened.
I'm sorry, but begging like that many times.
You remember this? With the guy?
Yeah, what's his name? That's why I've not remembered him. It's like Kyle or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Andrew Tate. You've agreed to do an interview with the BBC today.
Yep.
The material is going to be published on television, on radio, online.
Perfect.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people or women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
It's the concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively influential over the youth, and I understand that, but it's my influence as a whole which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Gee, she just goes in. She didn't sugarcoat that, she's just like straight in with that question.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. Firstly, let's begin. Let's start at the beginning. I'm facing charges. The first one you mentioned, the rape one, has already been thrown out by a judge. There's no evidence of it. Secondly, it's very difficult for me to sit here and have a very frank and honest conversation with you while we're in the territory of Romania about a legal case that's going on within Romania. I have to protect myself. I've agreed to do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible. But I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct, there are no charges. There are no charges,
and
I've agreed to speak to you, but I have to be as honest and frank as I can while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website, for your original website for the Hustlers University, that you emotionally manipulated women to fall in love with you so that you could get them working in the sex industry for your financial gain.
As I said, I have to be very careful with what I say, but let's put it this way. No women are coming out against me and accusing me of doing it.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Who?
There's testimony from the current investigation.
The current investigation, which I cannot discuss, which I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now that the women who are
she's like
in
kind
this
of gaslighting
case
while
file,
trying to.
there are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common in cases like this that the alleged victims do not always see themselves as victims.
Well, that's very interesting. It's actually extremely interesting, because if I was a matrix-controlled organization, my goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name. You're telling me that they've chosen a crime which, 1, is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility, and 2, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people and everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish?
Nah. She's doing what Piers did when he's talking and cutting him off.
It's pissing me off.
Nah, that's so rude.
Can I finish this?
One of the witnesses said...
Can I finish this?
You're not answering the question I've asked you. You're not answering the question I've asked you.
I am answering the question. You're saying...
Let me read you the testimony.
You're saying the people who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and pretend they're victims.
They are treated as victims by the case that's ongoing. And not all of them are saying that. One of the witnesses says...
We can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution, by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not really, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated. And I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to prod me. You are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that for now and talk about something else.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think that's
exactly what
no,
you said.
That's no, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it. And again, once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with
Who?
Every time, baby girl, boo-boos, boo-boos.
Piers
I
is a
recommend
dog.
her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. It's actually very interesting that me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and places all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations since my arrest. 0. If you took any famous person, any man of substantial wealth, and you called 2,000 women who knew him, you'd find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's upset. They called 2,000 people who knew me and could not find a single woman to make a new complaint. The only complaints they have against me are the initial complaints, which we can prove are lies, and that's where it stands. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to pretend that I'm some kind of evil predator, when actually I'd argue the fact that people who've been investigated to the level I've been investigated to, if you were to take the average man on the street and investigate his entire life for 14 months, call everyone who's ever known him, and vilify him in the media, and encourage people to come forward for money, and you try to contact every ex-girlfriend he's ever had.
Would come forward and accuse those people of rape and accuse those people
I think that you would have a lot more, I think you would...
Yeah, but didn't he just say that there was 2 people that got found out? As well, that were lying.
Yeah, the 2 girls.
Yeah, because they were saying they were saying really bad stuff, weren't they, about him?
Yeah, they were lying.
Yeah, and then they got caught out as well.
Yep.
You have a lot more flack than I've got. I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come
The BBC has spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior...
Is this Sophie?
Everything
is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face, No,
I was so
the story that was
wanting
invented.
to please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she
That's
accused? Has
coercion.
she accused me of a crime? This imaginary Sophie?
She's making
I'm
a
sorry,
point
you know
that-
what he's coming out with? It's killing me off.
He's got the facts though. She's pissing me off.
No, I'm laughing when he said imaginary Sophie. That's so stupid. No, but the thing is, a lot of people will go, oh yeah, he did this to me, because that's how women work sometimes. It's disgusting. Which we've said in previous videos before, that it actually irritates us, doesn't it, when people do that, accuse them of so much vulgar when they haven't done anything.
When all they've done is look after you.
That's what I'm saying. It's always the same.
There is
Has she accused me of a crime?
emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here because I've allowed you into my house
I'm asking you the question.
correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The
and
BBC did not invent
Of course not. And because you never invent anything. And she's not filed criminal charges against me. What are we talking about here? What is she
We're
saying?
talking about emotional manipulation.
Has
It's
she-
the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage. She has not filed criminal, this person, if they exist, has not filed criminal charges
That's
against
so
me.
bad though,
I
isn't
welcome
it?
anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past to file criminal charges against me. I will fight them. I know who I am, and I know what I've done, and I know the truth, and I know that I'll be found innocent of this attack. The reason I'm being attacked is because of my massive influence, not because I've ever hurt anybody. And for you to sit here and say that everybody around you is saying you're innocent, but that doesn't matter because the state will say they're victims, and they're just going to grab everybody you know and call everybody victims, even if they say they're not, and try and put you in jail. You are describing a matrix attack. You're not describing human trafficking.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
We
and
will see what women go.
Excuse me, can I
We will
finish
see
this?
what women go to court at
Can
the
I
end of this
finish,
trial.
please?
We'll see which women go
Can
to
I
court.
finish, please?
We'll see which women go to court.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
Sophie hasn't
trafficking.
gone to court. Sophie doesn't
and
exist.
I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length
Sophie doesn't exist.
and other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe
They're not my words.
coercion.
They're words
and
you
emotional
found.
Why is she getting high rate though?
She's not the feds.
Why is she going high rate?
She's not the feds.
She's going right.
She's an interviewer. Interviewers are supposed to ask, how do you feel about this whole situation?
Oh no,
What's your
it's
point
like
of view?
she's
What's
targeting
your
him.
point of view? You know, like, how was it in prison? Not, are you a human trafficker?
And made up Sophie.
I'm sure he would have said it if he was to the feds, not to her. She's nothing. She's a nobody.
When the fact that,
She works
like
for
you
the
said,
BBC. She works for BBC, a big company.
Don't run.
She works for the BBC, a big bollocks company, right?
Yeah, but she came into
Nobody.
his.
She's underneath this fat name.
Yeah, but
she
this-
came into his home.
Yes.
Doing
Honestly, she needs to shut up. She's doing my head in. And then when he's finishing off his sentence, she's like, "Can I talk, please?" And then he's like, "No."
Can I talk,
Bit
please?
common, isn't it?
Can I talk, please? Can I talk, please? Can I talk, please? How about I shut up?
Words you found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
So let's move on to the
website,
next
in
subject.
your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places
You ain't
in
the
that same
feds,
website
G.
where you
He
say
just said
you get
move
girls to
on.
fall in love with you, and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say.
Tell you what, you know what's.
Get her a job in the bloody interview room, the interrogation room.
No. It's like she's projecting her own issues onto this subject, you know.
Bro, this bitch needs to shut up.
She's getting passionate for no
Her
reason.
gob is literally worth 0 pence right now.
No.
She's not a fucking legend.
Peasant.
She is just a little brokey. She is a dweeb.
No, but she's getting so like high rate and passionate about this.
And they do it because you love you. Because they want to do what you say. What? Because you ain't got no lover. My bad, G-Star, my bad.
He's just said multiple times.
But
he hasn't done
listen,
it.
get her in the interrogation room with the feds and she'll be all good. She'll get paid more.
Honestly, imagine her being going at you for like 10 hours.
I'm like, bro, shut your mouth.
You know.
Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once
That's
again,
coercion.
This
That's
ain't no
emotional
interview.
manipulation, That's abuse.
This
what
is
you
interrogation.
It is.
are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should.
Your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same. It's been the same for a very long time.
The comments on this website, on the original website, have been taken down, and I wonder why.
You are accusing me, I'm guessing, what you're trying to say is you're accusing me, and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of, and I'm emotionally manipulated.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm asking you about that.
Absolutely not is the answer. I look forward to the end of this trial. I look forward to clearing my name. I look forward to the BBC and the
It's the fact he just keeps repeating himself because she ain't listening.
As I've said before, the only other person who's been found, despite absolute rigorous,
I got too angry.
levels
no words formed.
of investigation and prodding into my life, is this imaginary Sophie by the BBC who doesn't exist. And if you were to find any single other man on earth and try and analyze his life forensically to the level they've done now, you would find genuine damage to people. I don't hurt people.
It's not just
thousands of women have come out in my defense. Thousands of women have come out in
my
defense.
They have to be fair.
Thousands of women.
Even his ex lived with him for like 2 years or something.
Okay, well, let's agree that thousands of women. Let's agree that thousands.
It's not a problem that some people say you haven't done it. It's a problem that some people say you have.
Thousands of women come out in my defense. And
she deeply down doesn't like Andrew Tate. She's not doing it for a job. She just doesn't like it. That's why I said she's going in for it. Like she's got personal issues.
Andrew's fine. He's never hurt us. You're saying
how
no,
about get a wash, babe, and realise you're in the wrong?
I have someone called Sophie.
Get a wash.
Yeah.
Dirty.
You dirty pig.
No face, a fake name, who we've invented, and she's not accusing you of anything criminal. So I don't see the whole point you're trying to make here.
You say you manipulate women, they say you manipulate women. Why wouldn't people think you do?
I'm not here.
There's a lot of women that just do it just for the money and the fame for 2 secs.
You've printed something off that you found on Reddit, and you're going to sit here and say that that makes me a bad person. I'm saying that you should know better as a journalist and do some proper journalism. Let's investigate the fact that thousands.
I think you should answer my questions properly.
He literally just did.
I already have, and we should move on. She's just trying to start arguing.
It's not only about the criminal allegations. It's a much bigger issue. You've got children's organisations in the UK. You've got rape organisations in the UK. You've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men.
And you have every single fed on your phone, ringing them up, saying, "Oh, what's your views on Andrew Tate? Oh, I don't like Andrew Tate. He's a little dickhead." Well, guess what, bitch? Suck out.
Can I just say, there's so many people that were actually defending him in the UK and ready to fight his corner if he was still in jail.
For real.
What is she on about?
She's on it. Honestly, she's on it. She is on some shit. She is on the crack.
She's on something, I swear.
And the reason
nosy bitch.
I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive. In fact, if you were to read the comment section of nearly any video I post, especially by the legacy media, 95% of the population agree with me. Most people know that the things I say are positive. Legacy media as a whole has lost all its credibility in the last 3 or 4 years. Nobody believes it. And it's a shame. It's a massive shame that BBC come here and try and push and purport this idea that I'm a dangerous person. I'm anti-drugs. I've never pushed drugs or any. I'm anti-drugs. I'm anti-violence. The UK is facing a knife crime epidemic, and they're going to sit here and say that I'm the most dangerous man in the UK.
He's not.
You're the most dangerous man in the world.
I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
You've also said that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner. I'm glad you find that funny.
I find it funny that you're sitting here saying that I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
I find it funny. Whoa! Whoa!
Wait.
Bitch, shut your trap.
No, wait. He's never said that.
I know.
Guys,
I know.
obviously, people that actually know Andrew Tate and watch his videos and stuff, can you please like put down below when he said this? Because I don't.
Just pissing me off.
I don't recall this.
Pissing
when did I say
that?
I'm asking if you believe it.
No, you said you're the most dangerous man in the world. Is that some kind of proof that I'm dangerous? Am I Dr. Evil now? I'm telling you that it's very upsetting that you're going to sit here and that certain organizations in the world are going to try and pretend that I'm the biggest force of evil on earth when I'm genuinely a force for good. I'm genuinely a force for good. And the reason they're doing this is because of the massive influence I have over the youth, and they don't like that I'm telling the youth to think outside of the matrix and ignore things like the BBC, which come here with loaded questions and false narratives and try and paint innocent people as guilty.
You've said women's intimate parts belong to their male partner.
I said that if a woman marries a man, she takes his last name and traditionally the man gives her away. I've been pushing.
Yeah, no, he did say that. We seen that, and then obviously then it was highly edited as well. We watched the edited video, if you remember. And because we watched that, we got the back, well, a bad opinion about Andrew Tate because we watched highly edited things. It wasn't until we watched full things I'll keep repeating it because no one believes that we actually like him.
Listen, yeah, if I could marry him, I would.
Those are the first in line.
Beliefs, because I'm a religious man, and traditional beliefs in regards to marriage, which everybody accepted 10 to 15 years ago.
So
that's not a crazy conspiracy theory. If you're going to sit here and say that me believing a woman should take a man's last name in marriage makes me the most dangerous man in the world, then you're just going to lose even more credibility than the BBC's already lost in the last 4 to 5 years. If that's your point, if that's your narrative you want to push,
say that
good
men
luck.
should be able to sleep with a lot of women outside marriage. That doesn't sound very religious or very conservative.
That's not what I said they should be able to. I said a lot of high-value men, a lot of rich men do it, and then we discussed at length on podcasts why rich men do it. We also discussed why women decide to be unfaithful. It's not a gendered argument. We discussed unfaithfulness as a whole. What are the reasons and motivations for men? What are the reasons and motivations for women? Because you have no time to actually, watch my content. Because you have no time to actually watch my content at length and understand what I'm saying. You just come here with a small snippet, which we provided to you on a piece of paper.
3 times doesn't make it true.
No, completely. You don't have a clue what I say or what I talk about. You never watch my content. You have small pieces of paper, small clips on a piece of paper, and you're trying to pretend I've said evil things. And then you're going to say I'm the most dangerous man in the world, which is truly laughable.
You said that, not me.
Okay. Do you believe I'm the most dangerous man in the world, Lucy?
I'm not answering your questions.
Well then,
So, she says she's not going to answer any of his questions, but then she's allowed to interrogate him. Because that one works.
Well then we need to change the dynamic of this interview. Because, and I'll make this clear, I allowed you into my home. I'm doing you a favor, giving you the first interview I'm giving to the public. You don't come here with a position of authority. You're not the police. I don't respect the BBC. I don't know you. You do not come here with a position of authority over me. We are
you said that.
We are people, we're citizens of the world, and we sit here as equals. And I see you as my equal, and if you ask me questions, I can ask you questions back. For you to come here and sit down and pretend you're the Gestapo, and that you don't have to answer my questions, is disingenuous because I don't owe you anything.
Asking questions and you answer.
But I don't owe, no,
however you want.
This is a conversation, and I don't owe you any degree of authority over me. So let's make that clear. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or from the BBC or the CNN. I'm here to answer your questions and be honest with you and do you a favor.
Great.
And I'm doing you a favor. But you come here with loaded questions, you're trying to paint a narrative of me which is negative.
I'm asking you
and
about
that's
things
fine.
you've said that people are concerned about.
And that's fine, but you're not going to sit here and say you don't answer my questions because you're not above me.
BBC's going to be done after this, I tell you.
Absolutely.
Well, it would help if you answered the question.
I've answered every question so far.
He has.
Let me ask you the question.
Sure.
You have said that a woman's intimate
Wait,
parts
why is she repeating the same shit?
It's boring me!
He is entitled to a cut of her income.
You are extremely, it's very confusing.
He did say that though.
Take long format podcast sites.
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours.
He did say about sharing the money.
Context where I sat with
On OnlyFans.
Yeah.
OnlyFans girls, 10 or 15 OnlyFans girls, where we've been joking back and forth. Ignore every comment and satirical comment and sarcastic comment that the females make, and then come along and say, you said this, and that you're the most evil man in the world. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is.
I think he said it with
context is. I don't know if you understand what
fiery effect. He does do that quite a lot.
I'm saying it was a very interesting talk show.
That's what I'm saying.
To sit here and say that is
He's being he just wanted to say it because he knew that people would take it wrong, like always. So he did it for fiery effect as well as being sarcastic as well. That's the only thing he has said so far. That what
it's
she
the
said.
Worst thing.
Yeah, is what she said is true. That's the only part so far that's true.
Beliefs and that makes me a bad person is disingenuous.
Is it?
Of course not.
Was it sarcasm?
Absolutely. You should watch the show.
You were being sarcastic when you said. Let me just clarify.
You should watch the show.
Let me clarify for the audience. You were being sarcastic when you said a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner.
No.
You didn't believe that.
No, it's not that. It's that you haven't watched the show at length, and you should have.
I don't get what's so bad about that.
Saying, my man's car belongs to me because he's my man. And she was on OnlyFans. And then 20 minutes later, when she said she was on OnlyFans, I said, well, you're selling your body, that belongs to him because he's your man. And she laughed, she laughed, and she said, yeah, that's probably true. If you watch the show, it will make sense. For you to come here with doing no research at all, and then say, I don't understand what I'm talking about, but I've got this piece of paper with a few things printed off. That's why you're saying the silly things you're saying. You should watch the show, do some research.
Do you believe it?
I've already answered the question.
Not really.
Of course I have. Can we move on? I answered the question.
Do you believe that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner?
Of course not. I've just answered the question.
Oh my God.
Shut the fuck up.
Honestly, his patience is something else.
Does this woman believe that her man's car belongs to her? It's not a gendered argument. I really
People
think
do say that stuff though.
It's genuinely sad that when the BBC has a chance to finally interview me at the end of all this Matrix stuff, that they don't come here with any kind of genuine openness to try and understand my influence of the world, or the things I push, or what I'm trying to teach the world.
Plus he's trying to explain.
Instead they come here with pieces of paper, with printed out excerpts from 5-year-old podcasts, taken out of context, to attempt the same Matrix attack on me, which has been attempted endlessly. Every single person in Legacy Media has already tried this, and it doesn't work. I really encourage you. I encourage you to read the comment section on YouTube, and this goes on YouTube, and you will see that nobody believes a word you're saying. This is garbage.
Oh, we're gonna do that. We're gonna scroll and see what happens next. You know what people say.
Naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like
absolute
this.
Garbage.
National organisations who are saying that are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed.
If that was
by
true,
pupils,
if that
because of you and your teaching,
well, that's absolute garbage. I
Harassed?
never ever encourage.
What?
She said harassed, not harassed.
What is harass?
Harassed.
Yeah, but why did you say harass?
Don't know, she was just trying to be posh. Well, she ain't posh, we're gonna leave it out though.
To attack a teacher, male or female ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society I'm against. I'm teaching young men.
I preach no alcohol. Start chugging it.
I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard, to be exactly like me, with no criminal record, never even yet charged in this 14-month Matrix investigation. And I'm saying that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame me because I appeared on the internet 1 year ago. It's disingenuous. It's disingenuous. And also,
financial success with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
Because it's all mixed together in what you teach. You teach that a woman, if a woman comes home and accuses you of cheating, you should hit her with a machete.
Right, nah, that was edited, highly edited. I know what video she's on about, but she's talked literally a snippet and then threw it at him. No, he didn't just say that at all.
Is that what I teach?
That's what you say.
No, if you actually watch the clip, it will be about the woman attacking me with a machete. As usual, you've not watched the video, taken it out of context, flipped it, and attempted to attack me with a small excerpt. Let me tell you something, Lucy. I'm sure you're a very nice person. I'm sure you're a fantastic person. But if I were to take everything you've ever said online and just take small excerpts out of context, I could make you look like a misogynist. I guarantee it. In fact, I might actually do that. And then you're going to sit here and say, oh shit, I'm a misogynist because my clips have been taken out of context. If you refuse to watch anything at length and understand it, then that's what's going to happen.
The National Police Chiefs League for Violence Against Women, the NSPCC, Rape Crisis, Safer Schools, they are all naming you as being behind an epidemic of misogyny, even amongst primary school children.
The idea that I made primary school children misogynistic because I own a nice car. Is that your argument?
What colour is your Bugatti? That's what you hear
nice car
from little children.
No, it's the misogyny that comes along with it.
At the end of the day, he's not forcing anyone to be like that.
Primary school children are only saying what colour is your Bugatti because they see it on TikTok. They ain't sitting there watching all these clips on Andrew Tate, let me tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
They just get the memes.
Yeah.
Just get all the memes and then say it. So be for real, Lucy.
No, and also not only that, it'll be short clips that we watched and then almost copy it from that, and they haven't watched the whole thing, and that's because of TikTok itself.
Yeah, we'll take the ad and shove it up your ass.
Misogyny come along with owning a nice car.
Because you have an image of financial
I'm glad you're answering my questions now. You finally got the diameter.
You have an image of financial
answer my questions,
success.
actually should.
Excuse me. You have an image of financial success, but it comes along with attitudes towards women that are really problematic.
My attitudes towards women is that women should be protected and provided for, and I've said that at length. In fact, I've said that over 50 times online, you never mention it. I say that my girlfriend doesn't have to work unless she wants to, I take care of her, I die to protect a woman. I've talked about how I've stood up and faced a knife to protect a woman.
And in return, you want authority over her in the way you have over a child or a dog.
Absolutely not. I've said that women should be protected and provided for. And
in return, you want authority over her, because if you have responsibility for someone like a child or a dog, you say, you have authority over them.
If you want to go down this argument, we'll go down this nuanced argument. I said that if I have responsibility for her safety, I should have a degree of authority over her safety. Meaning, and let me explain my point. If I'm the one who has to fight and die to protect her, I'm the one who decides how we walk.
This reminds me so much of Piers.
Because
what Piers was doing
to say, I want to walk through the most dangerous neighborhood in the world, but you have to face the knives. That's what I've said. And then you're going to sit here and pretend I'm trying to treat women like dogs, which is garbage. Every single man in the world who loves his woman understands that he has to protect her. And every single woman in the world likes the idea of a man who would protect her. If you were to say to most women home right now, do you want your husband to protect you in a violent attack? They'd say, yeah, of course. Nothing I've said is misogynistic.
If you said to most women, would you want to lose authority in the relationship, to not be treated as a free and legal equal?
I didn't say that. I said
she's really pissing me off. Tell you what, she's worse than Piers.
She's boring me. See that? I was yawning now.
She's just repeating herself, trying to trip them up.
Because a woman is a free, legal adult.
Correct.
You're equal.
Free, legal adult, my equal. But if I had a girlfriend and we were walking home late at night, and I said, let's not walk down that area, it's a bad area, I have to protect you if anything happens, I want to take the long way. And she said, no, I have to walk this way, even though it's the most dangerous route, I must. Then I would say, you're welcome to, you could do it, you're a free and legal equal, but I'm not going to walk.
You're a free and legal equal.
I should be able to decide the route, because I have an obligation.
Oopsie, sorry guys, every time. I just booted you, sorry.
And my obligation as a man is to protect and provide for females. Everything I'm talking about is traditional gender roles, which 10 years ago, less than 10 years ago, would not be considered outlandish, would not be considered crazy, would not be considered dangerous.
Which that's true also. Everyone's turning to like snowflakes.
And a lot of people haven't changed with the world. Please understand there's a lot of women at home watching this right now who like the idea of their man sticking up for them, protecting them, and providing for them. And just because the world has gone crazy and the legacy media has gone crazy, most people at home are still relatively sane. And these are the people who are going to write in the comments that Andrew isn't saying anything that's outlandish. It's the whole world believes these things.
I'd be getting annoyed. Wait, is that Tristan or Luke then? Sound like one of them.
It's probably Tristan.
I'm having a nice conversation with you, so I'm enjoying it. So it's no problem. It's been fun so far. It's fun. We good? Yes. Tell me when.
Someone needs to slap
I
off.
can do the clap. Now we good?
No, thank you.
If a man broke into your house, wouldn't you want your husband to protect you?
There's a difference between conservative values and emotional control, coercive control.
We're talking about protection, and I'm saying if someone broke into your house, would you want your husband to protect you?
You would.
It's not about conservative values or protection, it's what you're demanding in return for that.
Well, I'll give you this. I don't know if your husband is. I don't know if he would stand up and protect you or die for you. I'll give you this. If someone broke into this house right now and was a homicidal maniac, I would expect me and the other men in this room to stand up and face him while you and the other women in this room could protect themselves. I would actually believe the men should go and engage to defend her. I believe that. And even though I don't know you, and you've come into my house with a hostile agenda, and you've come here to try and make me look bad, I would still stand up to protect you. I would still stand up to protect you because I believe that's my role as a man.
I am asking you about things that you have said that have caused major national organizations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I say.
It's not about whether you protect your partner or not. It's about what you have said that has caused such.
She's contradicting herself.
She's really doing my head in.
She's just literally done one narrative, so it was explained, and now she's saying that she never said that. She said this. That don't even make sense to me.
Because
that's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made
try and trip them all.
Okay, so firstly, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things. And I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy. And I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money. Because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs. Or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you could make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your website where they pay to learn how to be like you.
I mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a joke online.
Are you saying that all the controversial
She's actually
things
really
you've
boring
said
me.
are
No, he's got a point. On rap songs, oh my god, it's so much worse than what he's saying.
Pull out your shank and stab him.
That's what I'm saying. And there's kids that are influenced by that, but no one says shit about that. But the second he parks up and says shit,
they were walking down the street,
everyone's
up,
saying
stuff. On, knife in pocket in the
That's
UK.
what I'm saying.
You don't know whether you're safe no more. That's how it is. Honestly, that is how it is. You don't know if you're safe no more. You could literally be walking down the shop to get some milk, and next minute you know someone's jumped out and you and stabbed you.
And then you're dead.
And that's what songs are encouraging children. And bearing in mind, these kids that are coming out stabbing you are 10 years old.
Honestly, it's really bad in the UK.
You could be in your 40s and a 10-year-old's just going to stab you and you're now on the brink of death. What the fuck? What the fuck? And he has a very strong point. He could literally be encouraging that, and he isn't. He's trying to stop it. So be fucking for real, Lucy.
Loosey goosey. But anyway, like I was saying, so all these rap songs and stuff like that, they're saying a lot worse than what he said.
Saying that these organizations and the BBC are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous. And the reason.
I'm sorry, we have agreed to do an interview where you are going to ask questions that are going to give us the opportunity to clarify some things. These are very loaded questions. Sorry, and so far, I'm sorry, I have arranged this and I'm talking right now. So these are very loaded questions, and this is not what we discussed, and this is not a conversation that we.
We were very clear that the questions
are sitting there and just accusing
Let's go.
you to face new allegations. This has all been discussed, answers have been provided. So if we could please move on.
Respect.
I would appreciate it.
I would like to hear what Andrew's got to say about
This, right, what I'll say is, you would like to hear what he says, but then you try and manipulate the situation and make him look bad. But it's okay, because you just want to hear what he says.
the fact that when you make controversial statements, it attracts people to follow you, and then you direct them to your website where they pay you a monthly fee to learn how to be like you. And so the more controversial statements you make, the more money you get.
The fact that that's the path you've outlined to one, my online university, and two, my presence on the internet, the fact that you believe that's the path just shows you've done absolutely zero research. Genuinely zero research.
Okay, so how many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media?
Genuinely zero research.
How many of the people at Hustlers University come to you through your social media where you direct them to the website?
And Lucy, I encourage you to go out there, do some genuine research, watch my videos, of course, watch my videos at length, and truly understand what I'm doing.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University at $49.99 a month come to you because they see your social media comments?
There's an online school called Hustlers University, which I don't own. I influence for, along with many other influencers, and they sign up for your website, which I don't own. And once again, that's nothing to do with me. And you're going to sit here and say that I made a joke. I made a joke online 4 years ago because a woman said that she owned her man's car, and you made a joke, and that means that you, because you have Bugatti, are the most misogynistic, dangerous man in the world. This is going down a path of absolute insanity. It's not true. None of this is true. I don't hurt people. I don't harm people. I'm genuinely a positive influence.
Renowned.
I'm renowned
for offensive and
That's
controversial.
You know, I actually do believe
I'm actually renowned for helping young men. Because we talk about there's a men's mental health crisis, and we talk about we pretend to care that men are upset. As soon as I discuss men's issues, it's misogynistic. It doesn't have to be gender. Just because I believe men have a point of view and men have rights and men are allowed to think and believe and act a certain way that helps them internally, that doesn't mean it's anti-female. In fact, I believe it's actually pro-female. I think when a man is true to his influence and true to his essence, and he's good within himself, he's a positive influence in the world, and he's positive for the women around him.
So
just because I discuss men's issues, people say, oh, you're anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman, I love women.
Why are so many women saying that when their boyfriends start following you,
they're not.
They experience more control?
So many.
They
Who said this?
How many?
More abuse?
How many?
Enough.
Enough. Well, that's the first time I've heard of it. So, in fact...
One is too many.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising
Doesn't
the
it
fact,
worry you?
praising the fact that their sons are listening to me,
Does it not
praising
worry
the
you?
fact that their
The things
husbands.
I'm saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry. It would
Are you not
worry.
concerned about
It
your
would.
influence?
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world. You have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her husband is not the same man she wants him to be, when thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite. Well, then I would say
I've
that's.
presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done.
It's probably about
is come
10
here with
people,
an
come on
agenda.
now.
You come here with loaded questions. You
Honestly.
come here with things taken out of context. You come
To the
here
point,
to-
she's not even changed the actual page yet.
I'm just fucking stupid, pathetic bitch.
Also, some of the things that he actually did say, we could relate to as well. And it made me open up my eyes to a lot of things when I actually sat down and watched length videos of him. As you can tell, Louis is done with this bitch.
Can't wait till it's over, guys. I'm falling asleep, it's tiring.
Things that you don't understand are satirical, and then you're going to also sit and say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos, and then I don't know what you expect me to say to that. That's
sarcastic and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain
No,
the
that-
comments.
He can't
For you to
control
sit
what
down-
people, how it computes in their own brain. He can't control that.
for you to sit down. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video, and now he won't do the dishes, or whatever your argument is, and that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car. It's just disingenuous, and I'm enjoying this interview very much because this shows the world. It's great. It shows the world the truth about the legacy media because they beg me for interviews. They beg me, you have been begging me for months, please, we need to be relevant. And then you come here with loaded questions trying to paint a picture of me, which is completely and utterly false. I am a good positive influence for the world. The things I teach men are stoicism, discipline, self-respect, hard work, obeying authority, listening to your fight coach, working hard in school, making as much money as possible in your job. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe women should be treated in a relationship.
He has actually, to be fair, we've watched a few.
And then you come here and ask me that,
long
answer
videos,
questions I've answered at length thousands of times.
Since you came out of custody, there seems to have been a lot about your charity work
Correct.
on your social
There's
media.
I've always done the charity work, but now
Which,
I'm
yes, he has.
There seems to be a real shift.
Yeah.
I wonder what's behind that.
Well, I've always done the charity work. I've been doing the charity work for years. I believe that it's my legacy to leave a positive influence on the world, and I've been doing charity work for over 5 years. Post my incarceration, my unfair, unjust incarceration, may I add. Post that, I've made it more clear the charity work I'm doing. But this is, once again, very interesting. I spend $25 million a year feeding children, men, male children, and female children. In Turkey, in Syria, in Iran, and Iraq, I literally spend $25 million a year feeding children. And I'm still the worst man in the world because 4 years ago I made a sarcastic comment.
Because some people would look at that
no,
and say,
bless them.
okay, so
Stupid.
before
You
don't have to do any
you
of that.
got money from attracting people to your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble. And so now you're looking for a new market. You're looking for a new market of followers.
I love how she just like makes all these ideas
just
in her head.
pissing me off.
She literally just makes things up in her head.
And I have proof that
How
I
to
did
piss
that
off
work,
Liv.
so you're wrong.
Lucy.
I believe that if you have a lot of wealth, you should help people, and I'm helping people. I also think it's very, very interesting that you could not find another celebrity in the UK or anywhere else who's spending £25 million a year feeding children in war-torn countries. I'm doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time without even mentioning it. I never even said it. And now that I've said it, people are going to attack me for it and say that it's disingenuous.
Just to
The
finish.
person in Sudan who's eating the meal, do you think they believe it's disingenuous? No, I think they feel pretty good that Andrew Tate fed them. And to sit here and say that I'm a bad person now because I'm manipulating charity, because I'm using
So
charity,
stupid.
I'm just trying to do good in the world. That's all I've ever been trying to do.
When women speak out against you online, disagree with what you say, they describe being bombarded with rape threats, with death threats, trolling by your followers. Would you like to say anything to your followers about
Sure.
how to behave in that situation?
Absolutely, correct. I would love to do that. First things first, I've yet to see a female stand up and argue with me online. I don't ever see hardly any, although only women who message me agree with me. Secondly, I don't think that anybody who disagrees with me, male or female, should be trolled. I don't think they should be insulted or attacked. I think the ideas should be discussed openly and fairly and maturely. It doesn't matter if a man agrees with me or disagrees with me.
Again,
or a
he
female.
can't control
I don't
what his
think my
followers do.
Followers should come along and attack her, and if my followers are doing that, I'm upset by that. But let's make a very important clarification. That's not my followers. That's the internet. If you were to log into any video game lobby, I don't play video games, and and someone were to sit there and say something stupid, they would be trolled with similar comments. That's the unfortunate reality of the internet as a whole. That's nothing to do with me. But I encourage all of my followers to engage in open discourse and be fair and honest and talk in a way which is mature. There's no need to troll anybody, male or female.
Okay.
Other things. I wonder if it'd be worth giving Andrew an opportunity to consider whether or not he would like to apologise or give an indication of how he feels about the allegations that he has negatively influenced young people who came second
The fuck?
on record that this interview is taking place in the house because you're under house arrest. If it were not for that, then you would have chosen another location, I'm sure. That request. So I think that's just right.
Wait, I'm so confused. Wait, what? She has to apologise.
Just to put
No,
on the
he's
record then, you
apologised.
said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come here and discuss the fact that I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then walked in house arrest without charge? Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than old YouTube snippets? Don't you think that would be interesting?
You're here under house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct. I've been incarcerated without charge. And don't you think
The rape allegation is
it's been dropped?
has been incarcerated for.
Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge, and I think that would be a far more interesting conversation. But then I guess Julian Assange is incarcerated without charge, and nobody's interested in that either. So if you actually wanted to do some genuine journalism and investigation, we could talk about the fact that an innocent man who is yet to be charged with a crime has had his liberty deprived of him. And I think that would be a far more interesting angle than talking about me being the most dangerous man in the world out of the car.
I'm sorry, it's just that. I'm sorry, it's just that when he said that he walked out of the car.
It's just really silly.
It is very silly.
Sorry, I can't even say
About
silly.
schools
It's just
being
silly.
very
Silly
worried about
sausages.
your influence. Boys in primary school, or boys as young as 11, are quoting you at school, attacking girls.
I mean, they're not. They're just going, well, cause you're a
refusing to
brigadi.
respect female teachers. Would you like to say anything about that?
I'd like to say a lot. First things first, as I've repeatedly said, and the only reason I keep repeating it is because I'm sure this interview will be edited. I am a positive force for the world, and I teach children discipline. I teach the world discipline, male or female, of any age. And a lot of women listen to me as well. 40% of the people who listen to me are actually female. Secondly, I do understand with my massive influence, and I am now the one of the most influential people on the planet, that I do have to be slightly more careful with things I say. I'm not going to disagree with that. The idea that I said something 5 years ago on a video that got 300 views.
So what do you mean, being slightly more careful?
I'll give you an example. Some of the jokes I made 4 or 5 years ago on a YouTube channel that got 300 views, I would no longer make because
Like what?
Like the OnlyFans joke, the one you mentioned, repeatedly. She said, "My man's car is my car," and then she said she did OnlyFans, and I said, "What do you saw on OnlyFans?" She said, "My tits," and I said, "Well, those are your man's tits." As a joke, ha ha ha. Everybody laughed. The fact that I could do that on a podcast 5 years ago and only got 300 views, now I understand I'm the most influential man on the face of the planet. I would be more careful with certain things I say. That doesn't mean the things I originally said were genuinely out to harm
Do
people.
you really believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled
Oh, yeah.
person on the planet.
Do you believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled man on the planet.
I think we're done.
What's she acting like that for?
Well, she
Thanks for the
is
seat.
just
Annihilated her.
Nice to meet you.
She's got some real issues, you know.
Bro,
It started leaking through the actual.
That was juicy, but she was just boring the tits out of me, bruv.
No, but you could see that she had some type of issue with him, you know. It started leaking through.
I think we're done. But yeah, like, bitch, please.
She was like, one person said about her husband's been turning because of watching Andrew Tate. That's not Andrew Tate's problem. It's like these kids that are apparently quoting
They
him.
don't say any of that. I have worked in a primary school. The most the kids come out with is, "What colour's your Bugatti, miss?"
I just feel like she's trying to pick out points that aren't even relevant to the situation. Then every time Andrew was trying to answer that question, which he did multiple times and didn't even change his answer, she then switched it up and said the same question again.
She's just a bitch. I don't like her. I don't like her, Lucy. No.
Like, honestly, I don't think Andrew did anything wrong. He had patient as a saint. Like, I would have already kicked off by now. I would have been like, are you not listening to me?
I would have just left.
Yeah, so would I.
See, even mentioning a name makes me yawn. I'm like, listen, Lucy, you are a bitch. All you do is nag, 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 on and on and on. And I can't be asked for your bullshit. Goodbye. Hope you have a nice evening. And I'll talk to you later. That's what I would do.
Generally, I don't think he's done anything wrong.
No.
And that's me being honest. Yeah, like I said, he did say shit 4 or 5 years ago.
There were jokes and there were also props and made out to be something.
Yeah, but at the same time, the world was a lot different back then too. Like, even a decade ago, the world's gone into flipping snowflakes. You can't say shit without someone being offended by it. Do you know what I mean? But it's not his fault.
I know.
Don't make sense.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe and comment down below what you'd like to see next. Remember to check out our Patreon in the description below and our TikTok in the description below. And keep a lookout in the community tab when we go live on TikTok and YouTube, because we'll be live coming soon. Also, we're doing a giveaway at when is it? End of July.
On your birthday, you changed it.
Oh yeah, on my birthday, 19th of July. Just make sure you head over to the giveaway.
That's going to be linked down below.
Video where we explain what's happening and comment why you should be a winner and if you're in the UK or not, because we can't do it abroad yet because we're trying to figure it out still because we're slow. Anyways,
True.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see
Bye,
you in
guys.
the next one. Bye.
I mean, that Lucy fucked me off, bro.
Bro, she was pissing me off and actually boring me out my face.
Oh.